Hi guys, so I am giving you a exercise format for overhead. So that could be if you're doing squats overhead, if you are a handstander struggling for 180 degrees, if you are doing bridge pose, all of those types of exercises that a lot of people struggle for. And a lot of people will say practice in the position, but there is a lot of exercises you can do to increase mobility to practice outside the position. I'm a little quiet while people are sleeping. So the first exercise, bring your elbow to shoulder height. And then from there, you're going to bring your hand around, don't have it below or above, and you're going to pin the scapula to the ground. The head is on the pillow, and you're going to lift up and you're going to stretch. Now, if you feel an impingement in the front of the shoulder, you can lean back to make it less intense. We don't want any impingement, it should be the back of the shoulder. It may be quite intense. Hold for 30 seconds. So the next one is angels. I have my back on the foam roller. Because it's too short, I'm going to place my hips here on a block and my head here on another block. And the aim is to allow the stretch of your chest. You're going to tuck your hips, pull your ribs down, keep your shoulders connected. From here, you're going to just let gravity take your shoulders down, and you're going to do a little snow angel like I'm doing at the moment in the snow here in Switzerland. You're going to bring your arms up and down. Now, if you are someone that arches their back, make sure you tuck it. And if you want to make it more intense, you can use a high height, or you can force in the sense of activate your muscles and try and get your elbows closer to the ground. If this is too hard, you can modify. So move these to the side, and you lie on your back. Now from here, you're going to take your arms behind you, thumbs up, and you're going to circle your hands around, head is down, all the way to the front. And then you're going to circle, my couch is in the way, all the way to the back. If that is still too hard, then elevate yourself, and so you can build strength to get your arms off the ground. So now we have the low sitting row. You're going to place a band that's a good intensity for you around your feet. And from here, you're going to place your hands into anywhere that can hold it. You're going to sit up nice and tall, try not to undulate between movement. You're going to pull your ribs down, but open your chest. And from here, you're going to do a low row. Keep your feet solid and together. Knees are turned on just to support the movement a little bit. And you're going to row back, squeeze your shoulder blades, and come forward. Now, depending how intense the band is, will depend how many reps you can do. The aim is we're building endurance, so 20 repetitions, and you're really working from the scapulas. So the movement articulates through the scapula. I'm going to squeeze my scapulas back, no arch. And then once I've squeezed them as far as I can, then I'm pulling back with the rest of my muscles, not raising the shoulders. And you're going back and forward for 20 rows. So now we have the tabletop band extension. You're going to put the band around your back, and you're going to crisscross the over twice. Okay, from there, you're going to start with your thumbs pointing up. Okay, and you're going to lie on down, and you're going to, from here, tuck your lower back into the ground. Your feet come up into that tabletop position, and then from there your arms extend. Now you're going to feel the movement as your scapulas are hugging around and moving apart. As you bring your hands up overhead as far as you can, and you're going to not shrug but extend as far as you can. Now don't compensate with your lower back. Squeeze your back into the ground and come back. So your thumbs will be pointing down at the end. You probably got a cross on your nose like me at the moment. And you're feeling your scapulas hug open and round. put an X marks the spot on your nose because nobody knows what you're doing. So this next one is super strong, okay? So you're going to have, a shoe might be easier because it's a little bit heavier. This is a little bit light, so my balance, I tend to lose it a lot more. You're going to have this balancing, whatever it is, shoe or a block, on your fist. And we're going to do a Turkish get up, maintaining the push here as we do this, core engagement, to help our overhead extension. So you're going to lie down. One leg is straight, the other leg is bent. You can bring that leg slightly out to the side and this arm. From here, you're going to push up. Make sure that block, you're going to look at that block, engage your core. From here, you're going to keep looking at that block, extending the arm up overhead. Once you get to this position and you feel stable, you're going to circle that leg behind and push your hips forward. Squeeze your glutes, push that block up. Once you get to this position, come into a kneeling position here. Keep looking at that block. And then finally stand up and you should be overhead. So I'm looking at the block and my hand is overhead. From here, I'm going to reverse the movement. So I'm going to bring myself back down. Hand is overhead. I'm going to lean to the side. Keep that scapular engagement, arm overhead. And then bring my leg back through. Extend it out. Keep that hand overhead, arm pushing up. And then slowly, looking at the block, lowering down. And that is 1 repetition. Really engaging. Really keeping the shoulder up and the scapula engaged. Sliding that leg through. And we have shoulder external rotation in a side plank. Now remember to actively do a side plank first is the most important thing. So key things is that you have to actively push this foot down to lift yourself up and activate your side glutes, making sure your bottom isn't back or isn't arched too far forward. Making sure your shoulder is in line with your elbow and your other is on top on your hip. You're not going to be moving the shoulder back and forward, it's going to be pure external rotation. So from here, if you can't do it full, you sit up here in your half, okay? I have the block under my elbow because it's a little uncomfortable. You're going to do 30 seconds of work. You're going to push yourself up. You're going to feel this stabilizing muscles here. And from here, you're going to rotate out and in. Keep your bottom forward, keep your elbow in place. And it's pure motion, external motion, out and in. So you can do this exercise off a table. I'm actually going to do it from a bent position here. Bending my knees, legs apart a little, but I'm making sure I'm not sitting my tailbone up. I'm pulling and tucking my pelvis, ribs are in. From here, hands are down and thumbs are facing out. I'm going to activate the movement from my shoulder blades and I'm going to squeeze up and then down. My gaze is going to be facing down. And you're going to do as many reps as you can. I'm aiming for 20. Now, to take the core exercise part out, that's when you lay on the edge of a table and you do that as well. That way you don't have to worry so much about your core. So the last exercise for this unit of work is the shoulder external rotation, okay? So we're going to be standing. The band is going to be anchored around shoulder height, anywhere between torso to shoulder height. I have torso height. You're going to be perpendicular to the band, so not forward or back. From here, you're going to grab in an intensity that works for you, and you're going to pull your elbow back to the shoulder, okay? You're going to support the hand here, and you're just going to do external rotation. So from holding this band, stay tall, do not rotate any of the body, and you're just going to lift this up and down. Now the thing to note is right now, I need to lift up my shoulder and then rotate it. So here is the movement. So when you do it, we don't want to be too low, we don't want to be too high, we don't want to be too far back. Okay, so now you know that ideally the reason why we want it at shoulder height is so that we can actually perform this rep a little bit easier without too many thoughts. Okay, if it's too hard, you just take less tension on the band, and then you start from here and you have less tension on the band. And it's just pure external rotation as you do it. So the fist comes to the ceiling, you're holding with your elbow so your arm doesn't move around, and enjoy the burn. It's great for the rotator cuff. So this is your overhead extension experience to help you to improve. Do 3 to 4 times a week. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. See you soon.